Philo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Maneesha, and this is my mentor, Kayla Philo, and I'm gonna ask her a couple questions. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. So how did you start your company?
Well, I was doing web design, and I started experimenting with digital video and really, really liked it, and discovered I was really good at editing. So I just decided to do a couple videos for nonprofits as to practice, and then I started doing short videos for businesses and organizations.
What inspired you to start your company?
Well, I really like working with creative things, but then I also have a very technical side. I like gadgets and cameras and computers, and video is a way to do both of those. You can be really creative, but then you can also be kind of geeky. So that really fit my personality really well.
What college did you go to?
I went to the University of Texas at Austin and majored in business and marketing.
How will you help guide me as my mentor?
Well, anytime I'm working with somebody or that in sort of an advisory capacity, I always sort of wait for them to ask me what they need. And in general, anytime I believe and I find that anytime you want to help somebody else, it's best to wait for them to ask you, because rather than you tell them this is what you need, they may not be thinking that. They will tell you what they need, and then that's the most effective way to help somebody.
Just let me know when it's 5 minutes.
Oh, I haven't been.
That was
Okay.
probably 3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably.
Okay. It could be, the minimum is 5 minutes long, but it could be longer.
Okay.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you hope to accomplish with your company?
Well, I really like telling stories for local businesses and nonprofit organizations and creative people, and that's what I hope to accomplish, is to help. I came to video production from marketing instead of the other way around, and sometimes I think that's helpful for what I bring to my clients. Is I'm always thinking of their audience, and if they can connect with their audience in 1 or 2 minutes or less online, they are so far ahead of their competition. And so that's what I try to help them do, and do it in a fun, because video is fun. We do it in a fun way, and I have a very streamlined process. So it's kind of helping those organizations that maybe don't have huge budgets, but they need to be online to remain competitive. That's where I come in.
Who has influenced you the most?
Wow, that's hard. Well, I was very blessed to have a really great childhood. Both of my parents were awesome, are awesome. I still get to talk to them when I like to and need to. So they were both a big influence. They both worked really hard and had different life experiences, and I got to watch how they reacted to those things, and that was really helpful. I would say spiritually, the Buddha is a big influence on my life, big influence. And just in general, nature and sort of a nature-based spirituality really helps me keep even. Yeah, and helps my creativity too.
Why do you do what you do?
I do what I do because I can set my own schedule. It's creative and it's technical. I love the people that I meet. I get more out of my clients than actually sometimes I feel like they get from me, because of their stories inspire me, and I feel like I can be helpful to them because they know their story, but they don't always know what pieces to emphasize to keep it short and keep it interesting for their audience. So what was the question? I think.
Why do you do what you do?
So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah. Would you encourage others to start their own business and follow their dreams?
Absolutely, yes. It's not for everybody to work for themselves. It's a lot of work to work for yourself, because if you want an office, you have to pay for it. If you want, all your paperwork is on you. I mean, to be an entrepreneur, it's not easy, but that's not why people do it. They do it because then you have a lot of freedom of action in what you choose to do. And always, always, always follow your passion, because you have to work hard in life, and to work hard, you need to stay motivated, and the world needs what you are passionate about. And if you're not manifesting that, then we're all not getting a good piece of what you can bring to the world. So yes, I totally would always say, if you don't start your own business, at least find a company that you can really manifest what you want to be doing within that company, and that serves them as well. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a graduating high school student?
Travel. Get outside your comfort zone. Don't worry if you don't go to college right away. Your generation is probably going to live to be 120, if not more, if everybody stays healthy. There's no rush. That would be my advice. It is my advice to my daughter and my son. There's no rush. I mean, you have to get to a point where you support yourself and live your life, but there's no rush to go straight to college. You're not missing anything by experiencing life and doing something you care about. That doesn't mean you get to sit on the couch and watch TV and eat chips all day, but it just means follow your dream, and don't worry if it doesn't seem to fit into somebody else's box right away.
What values are you committed to in your business?
Integrity, honesty. There's no drama on my sets. Literally, when we do a video production, we keep it very efficient and fun and light. And also, I'm always keeping the audience in mind for my client. So sometimes maybe they'll have an idea and I'll say, that's awesome, but does your audience care about that? And so that's part of, I think, the service I bring to them. And it's also the value that's in that is just regard for, you're creating something, and these are little pieces of art, even though they're for business or a nonprofit, it's a little piece of art. So you're creating something for someone else, and you have to have that person in mind all the time, because it's kind of a gift in a way.
What factors do you consider when planning for the future?
Well, I'm not a person who's always had like a 5-year plan. I mean, I'm organized, but I'm not a person who says this is my 5-year goal. I used to hate that question on interviews, like, what do you want to do in 5 years? I'd be like, I don't know, so I'd have to make it up. But I try to every day check in and say, okay, is what I'm doing today aligned with my values? And over the years, that's gotten to be yes, more and more and more, because over the years, you grow and you learn and you become more confident in trusting yourself. But I think that's the main thing. I just check in and be sure I'm working on things that are feeding me and helping my community. And if I just follow that, then life seems to unfold in a really beautiful way.
What has been your career path from college to present?
Well, I went to University of Texas. I got a degree. I was in the honors program. I made great grades. I got a job straight out of college in Los Angeles in marketing, and worked in LA for about 5 years. And then my husband and I at that time, we moved back to Texas because we wanted to start a family, and had kids, and I kind of volunteered a lot and worked part-time when my kids were younger because I wanted to spend some time with them, and we were fortunate enough to be able that I could do that. And so my path hasn't been super corporate, and for a while that bothered me, because when I was growing up, that's what you should be doing, is get the corporate job. But I realized that that's not who I am anyway, and so it was fine. So the way I got into video was through working, with web design, because that was something I could do from my home, and I loved the internet. And then just kind of got led to online video because everything was digital, getting to be digital, and easy to do at that time.
I'm not sure if I asked this, but what do you hope to accomplish as my mentor?
I just will just be there if you have any questions, if you need any equipment, if you just want me to look at something and go yes or no. I'll be really honest with you, but I'm not going to hop in and tell you what to do, because that's not being a mentor, that's being a boss. And you don't need a boss. And I know you're super talented, so I'm really excited to see kind of what you're coming up with. But I'm just there for you if you run into any questions that you're like kind of feel stuck around. Yeah.
Yay!